The Battle of Washita River reshaped life on the southern plains during a bitter winter in 1868. In one morning, military orders, indigenous resilience, and the harsh landscape met in ways that still influence how we remember this era. Watch to see beyond dates and headlines. You'll hear voices from both communities, follow the tactical choices shaped by snow and prairie, and learn how this single campaign shifted policy, land, and memory for decades to come. Expect clear context, primary accounts, and thoughtful analysis that respect the people involved without sensationalism. If you value careful, balanced history, consider subscribing and joining the conversation. Hook, Winter Campaign, Encampment, Surprise Attack, Chaos, Aftermath, Historical Impact, Legacy. During the Winter Campaign ordered by General Philip Sheridan, Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer led the 7th U.S. Cavalry on a dawn raid against Chief Black Kettle's Cheyenne encampment along the Washita River in late November 1868. The operation was part of a broader military effort to force Plains tribes onto reservations and to punish those perceived as responsible for raiding frontier settlements. Commanders deliberately used winter conditions to reduce mobility and to catch bands while they were concentrated and relatively immobile. Those strategic facts framed the engagement and shaped both tactics and consequences. Commanders relied on a kind of tactical hook, striking in cold months when villagers had gathered winter supplies and livestock close to the river, making a single decisive blow more likely to cripple an enemy's ability to sustain itself. The Cheyenne encampment lay in a ring of lodges and teepees with ponies corralled nearby, cooking fires still smoldering, and winter stores stowed for months ahead. Women and children were present, tending domestic needs even as hunters and warriors slept or prepared for the season. This concentration of people and resources is what made the village a target under the Winter Campaign logic. The attack unfolded as a surprise assault at first light, with cavalry columns aiming to encircle and overwhelm before a coordinated defense could form. Orders were shouted, bugles sounded, and the suddenness of the assault created immediate confusion among defenders and non-combatants alike. Ponies bolted, lodges were set aflame in the chaos, and signals of alarm passed rapidly through the camp. Some defenders engaged the cavalry, while many others tried to flee or to reach children and elders for safety. It was a scene of disorder and breaking lines rather than a formal battlefield encounter. When the fighting ended, the village had been burned and many of its stores and winter supplies destroyed, leaving survivors with diminished means to survive the season. Prisoners were taken and some non-combatants were displaced, precipitating further hardship for the Cheyenne in the months that followed. The engagement produced immediate military praise from some quarters for its tactical success and its alignment with the campaign's objectives, but it also generated controversy and debate about the conduct and morality of attacking villages where families lived. Reports from the field and later testimony fed a contested public memory in which terms like battle and massacre were argued over by veterans, officials, and journalists. Over the longer term, the Washita engagement influenced the pattern of warfare on the southern plains by reinforcing the efficacy, in the minds of military planners, of seasonal operations intended to disrupt tribal subsistence and mobility. It deepened cycles of reprisal and hardened relations between Plains peoples and the United States, accelerating movements toward confinement on reservations. The legacy endures in complex and contested ways. The site is a place of commemoration and study. Descendants of those affected continue to honor ancestors and to seek recognition, and historians and communities remain engaged in reinterpreting the episode within larger narratives of frontier conflict, policy, and remembrance. Today, it is remembered both as a tactical action in a harsh winter campaign and as a moment that reshaped lives and regional history. As the winter wind settles over the southern plains, take with you the essential threads of this story: the background of a frontier in flux, the harsh season that shaped movements and decisions, the clash at the Washita River led by Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer and its deeply felt consequences for the Cheyenne people under Black Kettle, and the longer echoes of loss, displacement, and contested memory that followed. This was not a single moment but a turning point that changed lives and the landscape in ways that are still being understood. If this account gave you new perspective, thank you for watching and reflecting with us. History becomes clearer when we look at it together. Share what stood out for you in the comments. Your thoughts help shape the conversation. If you would like to continue this journey, consider subscribing to follow more carefully researched stories from the plains. In future videos, we will explore winter campaigns and survival on the frontier, the oral histories and perspectives of Native communities, and the ways archaeology and memory reshape our understanding of these events. Thank you for listening and for honoring these stories with thoughtful attention.